Everyone in the audience is requested to stand at this time as we recite the Lord's Pledge.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. For thine is the kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. One nation, under God, liberty, justice for all.
Welcome, boys and girls. I have an exciting episode for you today. We have a guest right here, live in the studio. All right, fella. And I'm going to interview this guest, and when that interview is complete, we will go straight to the phones and have a conversation. Not only about our guest, but I want to discuss some topics. Yes, I'm going to give you topics, but we're going to hold off on that because I wish to introduce my guest, a very famous pastor in America, and this particular episode was provoked because of the hit episode we released earlier this year on this very podcast entitled Things You've Never Heard About the Bible. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you and to welcome to the Deeper Journey studio microphones the lead pastor of Halfway Baptist Church, a magnanimous church in Cedar Key, Florida, the man whose fascinating sermon we featured in episode 212 of the Christ is All podcast, the oblique, the numinous, the arcane, the man with a gonzo vocabulary, Pastor Biff Wellington. Welcome to the show, Biff.
Well, it's not. It's not nice to be here. But very, very nice to be here. It's very nice to be here. Yep, right.
Biff, we aired your sermon on April 23rd of this year on this podcast, and it had mixed reviews. Some said it was the most remarkable sermon they've ever heard. Others said you were biblically illiterate. And others, well, they just didn't know what to think. Some people made the comment that no speaker, no preacher, and no pastor ever wants to hear it is the insult of all insults. And that comment is, thanks for the reminder. Which being interpreted means, nothing new to see here, folks. We've heard all this before. Back to your homes. It was just a reminder. Biff, what do you wish to say to all of these groups of people?
Well, it's not. It's not nice to be here. But very, very nice to be here. It's very nice to be here. Yep, right.
Biff, one of the things you said in your sermon was that Paul buffeted his body, and that is the translation in the American Standard Version, the Darby Version, and some other versions. Of course, newer translations of the Bible render it, I discipline my body, or I beat down my body, or I keep my body under control. Anyway, you were using the translation that says, I buffet my body. And you read that as buffet. I buffet my body. And you were indicating that your interpretation of that passage was that Paul wanted to be eaten by cannibals. Would you like to respond and explain that to us? Because most New Testament scholars, most commentators, and most rational people do not interpret it that way. Another question is that during your sermon, you said that you believe that Paul got stoned. And certainly the book of Acts says that he did. He also said he was stoned in one of his epistles. And you interpreted that to mean he was getting high, particularly on alcohol, or alcohol as you pronounced it. Will you care to explain why you do not believe that he was referring to a literal stoning, that is with rocks aimed at his head?
Well, it's not. It's not nice to be here.
Biff, Would you mind very much if I asked you a personal question? Have you been drinking?
Well, it's not. It's not nice to be here. You know, it's very nice to be here.
Oh, no. I mean, how long is this going to go on?
Jeffy's the board op behind the glass. If you're a regular listener to the show, you have met him before. Why don't you say hi, Jeffy?
What's going on? How you doing?
Jeffy, could you get my guest a cup of black coffee, please? Preferably the pot that's been on since around 7 a.m. this morning. Thank you, Jeffy. Bring it in as soon as you can. Biff, after hearing your sermon, someone wrote in who claims to be a member of your church, Halfway Baptist in Cedar Key. And this person said, and I quote, "Pastor Biff has lots of cats, and all of them hate him." End of quote. Biff, would you care to respond to that statement?
Well, it's not. It's not nice to be here. Very nice to be here. You know, it's very nice to be here. Yep, right.
Thank you, Jeffy. Biff, here you go. Please just have some black coffee. Coffee there good, Biff?
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to take a short commercial break, and then we will continue this fascinating interview with my guest, Pastor Biff Wellington.
Hey, Alan, you're sure looking tan.
Can you keep a secret?
Yeah, what?
I joined a tanning salon.
Really? Well, you're looking great.
Yeah, thanks. I noticed all the girls around the office talking about me.
What do you mean?
Little whispers and giggles here and there. Probably think I'm a real outdoorsman, you know? Chicks dig that.
Okay, Alan, but can I tell you something as a friend?
Yeah, what?
Well, this is kind of hard to say, but have you noticed that you, fart a lot?
What are you talking about?
You see, right there, for example.
What?
Well, you just farted. Oh, and right there, you just did it again.
I did not. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to help you as a friend, Alan.
Oh, I get it. You're jealous.
Seriously, Alan, you have a real problem.
Screw you. I need to take this from you.
Alan, I'm just trying to help. Hey, I'm just trying to help.
It's estimated that 1 out of every 5 males over the age of 35 suffer from an intestinal condition known as Cardison's disease. It's a combination of excessive gas and a neurological disorder that prevents the individual from hearing his own problem. You may be suffering from Cardison's and not even know it. Brought to you by the President's Council on Health for Fisher, Right Box 447, Washington, D.C.
November 14th, 1503, psychic Nostradamus, famous for predicting the end of the world, was born. But Nostradamus ran into his share of skeptics, and this is what really happened.
Hi, baby cakes. I'm Nostradamus, famous psychic. You come here often?
Get lost.
I knew you were going to say that, because I'm Nostradamus, famous psychic, and I see into the future.
Beat it.
You know, I knew you were going to say that, too.
Scram.
And that. In fact, I predicted some initial resistance on your part, followed by total acceptance. Look, I wrote it all down here hours ago.
Initial resistance, total acceptance.
See, it's in the stars.
If you don't leave, I'm going to call the cops.
Turn the paper over.
It says, woman calls cops.
What did I tell you?
Take a hike.
You're lost, Toots. Hey, baby, I'm Nostradamus, famous psychic.
Go away.
I knew you were going to say that.
Nostradamus, the world never ended, and now you know
what really happened.
This is a great dinner.
Oh, thanks.
Pretty extravagant for a first date.
Oh, well, you're pretty special.
Thanks.
How's your coffee?
It's great. What is this?
It's decaf.
Decaffeinated coffee.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. I'll take some home to my dog.
What?
Decaf coffee. What made you decide on that? Were you in the kitchen going, hey, I know what I'll do. I'll ruin the dinner by bringing out a pot.
No, I usually have decaf after dinner.
Oh, you usually have decaf after dinner. That's right.
If you want, I can make some...
No. You don't have to do anything. I'm just going to get out of here. All right?
Are you serious?
Are you serious? No kidding. How you serve me decaf? You expect me to stay?
You don't have to leave. I'll make some different... We can go out for...
Goodbye.
Celebrate life's moments with General International Coffee.
Oh!
Well, we're back, and Pastor Biff Wellington is still enjoying his coffee. Not going to drown in that, are you, Biff?
Oh.
I have never seen anything like this in my entire life. Wait, this is impossible. We cannot continue. Biff, Jeffy, please come in and get this bum out of here. Biff, you're in no condition. You're just in no condition to be on the air. I sincerely apologize to the audience. This has got to be the most embarrassing, hideous moments I've ever had the displeasure of enduring in my entire broadcast career. I have interviewed I don't know how many people, and I have never, ever had anyone come into the station in this condition. And that includes Lud from Plant City. Jeffy, let's take Biff out to his car. Biff? Come on, Biff. You'll be all better in the morning. There you go. Please be careful. Be very, very careful driving home. It was good having you. Oh, brother. Good riddance. Jeffy, could you go ahead and open the phone lines? I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to go to the phones. So let me share the topics that are on the table for us to discuss. One of them is professional wrestling, WWE wrestling. Is it real or is it fake? Another one is WrestleMania. What do you think about WrestleMania? What are your insights and thoughts on the whole thing? Another topic is aliens. Now, you know, because of episode 188, if you recall in episode 188, how to defend yourself against alien abduction, which, by the way, was one of my favorite episodes of all time on this show. We had the phones open for people to call in and tell us about their alien abduction, and we only had one caller. So I'm going to try to run this by again and see if we can get more callers. If you've ever been abducted by aliens or you have a friend who's been abducted by aliens, please call in. Now, the number is 555-231-7777. That's 555-231-7777. And we will also talk about, if you want to, our guest, Biff Wellington. Either the fascinating interview that we just had with Biff or his sermon that aired on this show, episode 212. Things you've never heard about the Bible. So the phones are ready, and I do not see any lights on the Phenortner. I would think that it would be lit up completely, given the topics. But we'll wait. You know, the first person that will call in, and that could be you who are listening, usually sets the tone for the entire show. So if you're the first caller, you will set the entire atmosphere for the show. And it's, is it lit up yet, Jeffy? Oh, no, okay, no calls. The first caller will set the tone for the show. And everyone who follows the first caller pretty much stays within the same spirit and atmosphere of that first call. So it's very important. It's sort of an honor to be the first caller because you get to set the tone for the show. So if you want to be the first caller, just call in. It's 555-231-7777. Now, the second caller rarely sets the tone for the show, although I have had second callers call in, and they, in fact, as unusual as it was, did set the tone for the show, because the first caller was not quite talented enough, should I say, to set the tone for the show. So the second caller could also set the tone. Anything lighting up there, Jeffy? All right, no. Now, I didn't say this before, and perhaps this is the reason why we're not getting calls yet, but you can call from anywhere in the world, and the call is on our dime. It will not cost you a red cent. Jeffy, we still have not gotten one phone call yet, and the Vernortner is not lighting up at all. Would you get GT on the line, please? Let's see if we can figure out what's wrong with the phone. It has to be the phone. I cannot imagine that the topics I just gave out to our audience would not provoke them to begin calling in. So would you do that for me, please? Call the phone company and let's see what's wrong. Let me know when they get on the line. Thank you, sir. One thing I do want to say is we're waiting for a phone call, or it's more likely that the phones are not working while we're waiting for GT to get on the line. I do want to say that right now, as I am speaking, the manuscript for my new book, The Untold Story of the New Testament Church, Revised and Expanded, is in the hands of the proofreader, the final proofreader, before it is fully and finally paginated and goes to the printer. It's a grueling process. 3 years of my life have been invested in this book almost on a daily basis, and then previous to that, it's been about 20 years that I have been researching for this book. It is slated to release March 2025. If you're listening to this after March 2025, well, it's already in print and you can grab a copy of it. And if you want to get updates and you want to see the progress of the book, if you're listening to this before March 2025, if you've heard it after March 2025, you can still go to this website and it will show the endorsements and the description, etc. And that is frankviola.org/UTS. UTS is an untold story. This is the brand new, rewritten, revised, expanded edition. It is 5 times larger, more up to date, much more accurate, much more comprehensive, and written much better than the very old, I call it a rough draft, edition that came out 20 years ago. Let's see if we can resolve this.
Yes, this is Gail with GT Phone Repair.
Gail, yeah, there's apparently something wrong with my phone. My name is Frank Viola, and I'm doing a podcast.
Yes.
And I have offered quite a number of fascinating topics, and the phone just isn't lighting up. Therefore, there must be something wrong with my phone. And I was wondering, how soon you can possibly get something done with this phone.
Okay.
The topics are, have you ever been abducted by aliens? What do you think of wrestling? Is it on the up and up? What do you think of WrestleMania? And do you have any friends who have been abducted by aliens? Those are the topics. And for some strange reason, with topics like that, Gail, the phones aren't ringing. The Vernortner hasn't lit up, so clearly there must be a problem with my phone.
All right, then what I'll do, I'll put in a report on it, and we'll start working on it.
Well, I'd appreciate that very much. Do you think you can get something done within the hour? Because there's many people listening right now.
Soon as possible, sir. Okay, one moment, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello, this is the supervisor. Can I help you?
I was just wondering how long it would be until we can get this problem with my phones fixed.
What trouble are you having, sir?
Well, my name is Frank Viola, and I'm doing a podcast for the whole world, actually. And I have some topics that I've asked my listeners to call in on, and they're very fascinating topics. I mean, I can't understand why anybody would not want to call in to talk about them. And so something clearly is wrong with my phone.
Excuse me, are you talking about a repair problem here with your phone, sir?
Well, I'm assuming it's something wrong with my phone because people should be calling in.
Okay. All right, what I'll do is try and contact you. And if I can't reach you, I'll go ahead and enter a repair report on it for you.
Well, Well, thank you. As I pointed out, it's a very popular podcast. We have many people listening from all over the world, and the topics, as I say, are intriguing. So I can only assume that there's something wrong with the equipment.
Right. Well, if you've got problems with your equipment, then we'll need to take another route on that. Let me go ahead and have your lines checked out for you, though.
All right. Thank you very much. Do you see any problems with the topics I brought up? I mean, do you see any reason why someone would not want to call in to talk about them?
I don't know what topics you're talking about. I'm concerned about a repair problem with your phone service, sir.
Well, okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think enough time has passed here, and I have no idea how long it's going to take them to fix the issue. So I think we're going to end the show here, and I will see you next time. And oh, by the way, the next episode of this podcast will not be an episode marked by the 5-letter word in the title of this show. The monkey's dead. The show is over. See ya!